You mentioned wrestling in CMLL. You also wrestled in Stardom. What have these experiences been like for you traveling so much? Because, I mean, like, it's not just WWE tryouts and ROH opportunities. You're traveling the world to gain experience.
Yeah, it's their dreams come true. Like it's a dream come true, to be honest. And like you get there and you're like, am I really here? And like there are just moments. It's like even like my first match at Kirken Hall, like with Stardom, like I just afterwards, like I just started bawling, and it's like I'm just happy because it's like you see it and you hear about it and you see pictures, and it's like I love lucha libre, and so also getting to go to Mexico and you're like with such a notable like prestigious company, and you're just like in Arena Mexico, and you're just like I'm here right now and I'm training in their classes, um, with their students, and you're just I'm just always trying to be a little sponge and just like soak up everything. And there was a good chance like I was gonna go back there this year also. So of course, like that was another disappointment of now I don't get to go back. But I love to train, and so like those opportunities, like those were some of the best parts for me was going to the dojo and getting to train with the luchadors over there, because it's like they have a whole new world that we don't necessarily have, and they have styles that maybe you'll see like here and there in America, but that's where it's like you can really learn how to be your um really like take some of those things and just become an evolved wrestler even more, and just have your own style of I feel like taking some of the a little bit of those styles here and there, it's like it makes it me, because it's like I had my experience there, so I want to see a little bit of like the Japanese style or like lucha libre, because they're all making me who I am.
You also got to work a bit with the late Hana Kimura. Of course, unfortunately, we lost her a few months ago. What was that like? Because, I mean, she was so young, but man, so established and so good at everything.
She was considered like the Gaijin helper, because like she would always be like speak English to me, and she was just so sweet. And there was a night specifically, I was saying like we were I think like in Osaka or something, and I don't know if it was like the homesickness was getting to some of us, and just some of us were like, because it's like internet can be cruel too, like it
Yeah.
was just um we were just all kind of down for some reason that night, and she's like we're going to dinner, and we went to dinner and we just had like the best night with her. Like she's always so sweet, like even if it's like if I wasn't in their match, she would just come up to me and be like, you okay, you feel good? And it just felt good to have someone there that you knew like genuinely cared. And she was just such a sweet soul, and like she wanted to like learn all these languages and just get better, and you could just see that. And it's like she was a natural star, like in and outside of the ring, like she was just a presence. She walks in the room and she was that it girl. And so yeah, that was horrible and very tough, and like all the causes with it too is just from the internet. And so like just hopefully people start to be aware of that, especially she was so young. Like it's hard for anybody to hear those things, and um but especially at that age, I couldn't imagine.
And it had to feel good to have somebody so established and respected in your corner, willing to help you out to make sure that you were okay there.
Yeah, yeah, they a lot of the girls, and like I said, like especially her, just always just want to make sure like you feel comfortable, because they know you're away from home and they know that this is different for you, and you're just there trying to figure out how to fit in the best you can and do your best. And she was just always like so great and so sweet, and I know like she was close with a lot of the girls that went there, so it was very tough.
And I'm sure they've seen dozens, if not hundreds, of girls who have been through the same thing that like you all
Yeah.
have, the homesickness, because this ain't new to them. They bring people over. They bring a lot of women over, and a lot of women establish themselves there and figure out a lot of things there. I can't count the number of women I've talked to that have been like, yeah, even with language barriers, there's so much things in the ring that just clicked when I was over there that you pick up from not even being able to speak their language. I
Yeah.
mean, did you experience that as well?
Oh yeah, like day one. But that's when I thought it was so cool. So like funny story. So when I went there, like we flew in and the very next day was like the first show. So it's like I'm already freaking terrified.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, so I'm like um asking Sunny, who's kind of like helps with the foreigners because he knows
Mhm.
English, and I'm like, okay, so like show me where I go out from my entrance and this and that and this and that. And he's like, oh, your first match, by the way. Because I was like, I can at least I
You
can
just
watch
got
somebody
there. Yeah.
first.
And you just
Yeah.
got there.
And it's the very first match of 2019 or
Oh.
whatever year. And so he's like, so I'm like, okay, like a little like I can just watch somebody and I'll be fine, like with that. And he's like, your first match, and he's like, oh, and you're the first person to come out. He's like, you're starting the year off. And I was like, okay, okay. And but so I was terrified out of my mind. But um that match specifically, I like had no clicking.
Oh
But
man.
after that, like once I was a little like relaxed and like we had gotten to go to training and I figured it out, that throughout the process, I agree 100% with what those other girls were saying. It's like we can just like go out there and make magic. And it felt good, and it's like they know what they're doing, and it's like they're bringing you up to try to be at like to where you're able to comprehend and work, and you're just like I felt like I grew so much over there that I'm still always scared and always anxious and like nervous before matches, but like when I came back to America, like I was like if I gain anything from that, it's that I feel like I can go in the ring with anybody.
Yeah.